And back behind those horses, I Am Unstoppable. Osmosis at the clock tower, led by a length to Shinzo, Arkansas Kid, and I Am Unstoppable is running on. The leader, Osmosis, with 50 metres to go. Osmosis is clear and will take it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Quaddie Poddy. Cashy joined by Nick. It's the second biggest episode of the year. It's Everest and Caulfield Cup week, mate. How the hell are you?
I'm good, man. I've been in the background working really hard for us for this podcast, getting some new stuff, as you would have seen. We've just had the intro, I hope.
Yeah, hopefully that came through all loud and clear on the YouTube. Let us know. Let us know in the chat if that all happened on YouTube.
Yeah, got all that sorted and got some nice graphics to pop up for us a bit later today, which I'm looking forward to. So I'm doing well, mate. I'm going to be down trackside for the first time since Golden Eagle Day last year.
Yeah, you haven't been to the races in yonks.
I haven't, mate, and I'm keen. So, yeah, ready to go, man.
Yes, I am super pumped. I mean, before we even get into last week's racing, let's ask the question and let's stir the pot a little bit. Is it Caulfield Cup week or is it Everest week?
We go through this every time. Like, I reckon it's Caulfield Cup Day.
Okay, that's where we're going to differ in the argument.
I think now it's more probably Everest Day in the last, probably this year has probably got a bit more hype. The Caulfield Cup's got nothing this year.
Genuinely. No one's been chatting about that.
In the past, I've always loved it as Caulfield Cup Day, incentivize like that kind of hype and stuff, but there's nothing there this year at all. So I can definitely say this year is definitely the Everest. I think everyone's got the hype there, but I've always been a Caulfield Cup guy. So intro looks mint, mate. Loving that, Henry. Thank you, mate.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Producer Nick has been working up a treat for you guys, and you'll be seeing a lot more of it going forward. But yeah, it's Everest Day. It is Everest Day. It's Everest week. It's Everest year. No race gets chatted about 12 months around the clock like the Everest. And just in the last few weeks, I mean, even without Cashy and Rising, obviously with Cashy and Rising, yes, the chatter is at a all-time high. But we see this every year now. Non-stop chatter about who's in the race, who can potentially be in the race, who's going to win, where they're going to draw. Caulfield Cup does not get that chatter anymore. The only other race that sort of gets that chatter is Melbourne Cup, but that's only like sort of once Everest is passed and now it's all eyes on Cox Plate and Melbourne Cup.
Yeah.
And then everyone in the country goes, oh yeah, Melbourne Cup's look, the sweep thing's in the paper. Oh, it's Melbourne Cup. Let's talk about Melbourne Cup. Whereas Everest, racing world constantly chats about it, and now the casuals constantly chat about it as well. We get texts all the time from just randoms who know really nothing about racing, and they're just like, oh, Everest, like this Cashy and Rising, who is it? Is it going to win? Should I get on? This Jolly Star, like my mates have been telling me Jolly Star. Should I get on Jolly Star? Like, it's captured the young people.
The amount of people from work or like people I know that have just shot into the DMs asking for tips and more since because they're going to be down trackside. It's I've never had this many people at work ask me what I think about it and if I know what the Everest is and stuff. So it should be good. No, I'm looking forward to it, man. It's gonna be a good day. It's always packed. It's
sardines, man. Sardines.
I'm going down for the race. I'll be there for the early races, but as soon as that's done, I'm gonna jet out before the crowd. Missed the King Charles, unfortunately, but I've got somewhere to be. So
well, I'm jetting out after the King Charles because I'm heading to some hotel motel holiday in Pitbull's in town.
All right.
And as much as I didn't want to miss the Everest Day as a whole, just you only get so many chances in life to see Pitbull live, so I got to go head there and see that. Mariah Carey can be damned as the headliner. I'm there for Pitbull only. But let's just chat quickly about everything that happened last week, and then we can sort of transition that back into Everest chat by talking about what happened on Sunday with Cashy and Rising and the craziness that happened over that 12-hour period. But we'll quickly touch on last week. Anyone that is watching live right now, if you're here for the Caulfield Cup and the Everest previews, what's going to happen is we're going to go through the days in whole, all of the races on Everest Day, and what we like in Caulfield Cup in general. on Caulfield Cup Day in general as well, not race by race, and then we're going to go through the Caulfield Cup and the Everest runner by runner. So if you're keen for that, please stick around. If you are listening to this delayed, by now the own versions will be up on both our Spotify, Apple Podcasts and YouTube. So if you want to just listen to Everest Chat or Caulfield Cup, go there. But, mate...
I must say, if you're listening to it delayed, go onto the YouTube because there's going to be a lot more perks this time that we haven't really had. 6 winners last week.
Bounce back.
Good.
We needed it. We had a couple skinny weeks and it was looking like it was going to be another one until the back end of the day, which has been the case a lot this spring for us. We've started really slow and then we've come home like a bull at a gate. 6 winners that I really thought was going to be 7 winners because I thought we were guaranteed with Treasure of the Moment and Buckaroo backed in the Mind Power, but Globe came and spoiled that party, didn't he?
Yeah, it was kind of similar to that Via Sustina run earlier in the year, just slow on the pace and no one could really get going. And the same thing happened again and Globe took it out. So good job if you're on that. Definitely didn't pick it, but it seems to be a lot of horses can get upsetted.
Small fields, man. Small fields, tactical fields.
If it's going to be like that, if they're going to really push the brake and there's no pace in it and it's a stop-start in the last straight. So you're going to see it more and more. So I don't know.
But, I mean, Globe going to the Cox Plate now. Apparently, they're paying up the $200,000 to go in late. I mean, doesn't win a Cox Plate? I say no, but crazier things have happened. But Treasure of the Moment now, what do they do with her? She might head off to the paddock. She might press on. But the Cox Plate is now looking like it could be a 6-horse field. And then that becomes a tactical nightmare as well, where the same thing could happen. But Treasure of the Moment, she loomed like she was going to run on well. Didn't. Same thing with Buckaroo, but I mean, he has different sort of targets to her. His grand final isn't in, over a week's time. What do you do with Treasure of the Moment now?
I don't know. I think the first thing we could probably do with Treasure of the Moment is definitely belongs on Fraud Watch.
Yeah, we're putting her on Fraud Watch. You just have to now. I know she had colic. I know she's a bit underdone, but you just have to put her on there.
Nah, everyone thought she was going to win that race. And the only way I thought if she wasn't going to get on there is if Buckaroo beat her by nothing. And
she should be getting past Globe.
I'm just going to put Treasure down. Everyone knows what that is.
Yeah.
So while the board's up, I guess we're going to have to cross another one off.
Give me the marker.
Stocks.
Bloodstock. I know that you're obsessed with this horse, but I just thought it was bizarre that he started 270 in a Caulfield Guineas the mile. He can't get the mile. He's not a mile horse. Coolmore are just desperate to get him this Group 1 so they can breed from him because he's a Watton Bassett horse. They need to be able to get Watton Bassett's next in line because he died. But yeah, that was shocking. Never should have been favourite. You keep saying he's going to win a race. I don't think he will. Fraud confirmed. Put a line through him. He's doing nothing. Okay? Line through him. And I don't think he'll be winning a race.
What about
Go to Europe.
Gringotts here? I think Gringotts stays on for now. So far, my prediction's looking pretty nice for Gringotts.
Spring, yeah, 100%.
But look, we'll wait and see. I thought came nice second, so we'll wait. Lost nicely, in a weird way.
But yeah, Treasure of the Moment. Even the jockey said afterwards, he said, yeah, her best, she definitely should have been getting past Globe. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see her head to the paddock now, but if she does press onto the Cox Plate, I guess we'll wait and see to see if she's going to be able to run up to scratch and bounce back. But yeah, with that Woderton race, Autumn Boy, been saying for weeks to get on him. I said over a month ago, get on him. Played the Joker, got me in front of the tipping comp. Autumn Boy, unreal. Potentially heading to the Cox Plate now, but Chris Wallace still undecided.
Yeah, good run. Woderton failed miserably. I was lucky I put a bit of money on Autumn Boy because you were very into it, and that got me up to start, and then Lindemann after that did me real nicely.
We had a really nice purple patch about 90 minutes there where we just went bang, 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 bang.
Lindemann was good because I also personally had a Quinella, not boxed, Lindemann and attrition.
It's crazy. That's crazy betting from you.
Yeah, but that was good. $20 on. I think I'd walked away with $4.70 or something, which was very, very nice. And then Giga Kick put some money on the Giga and looked to his best, back from the dead.
100%. Like we both sort of
insane.
said, we wanted to hold off before giving him an official tip because we just wanted to see how he went around, and same old Giga. He seems to be back. Let's hopefully see him uninterrupted for the next year instead of taking, months and months off at a time.
Yeah.
He was very good.
Yeah, he was.
They were potentially saying put him in the Everest.
You forget he won an Everest and dominated for a long period of time, and he's just had a lot of time off, and yeah, that run he looked back to his best for sure. So
second in last year's Everest as well, but then decided to have another big break. But it's good. It's good to see him back in racing, potentially heading to Perth. So we'll see how that all pans out. And when it comes to the Cox Plate, horses that are confirmed to be going there, we know that Woderton backers are notorious for just always sticking with him, but nepotism backers are also notorious for sticking with him because he keeps flashing home. He is confirmed to be going to the Cox Plate. I believe Zach Lloyd has been booked to ride. Don't quote me on that, though. I know Zach Lloyd has been confirmed for the race. I just can't remember if it was nepotism exactly that he was booked for, but I believe he was.
And then last of all, we went out to you guys last week with Monarch Racing, and we had a Captivant colt. There was about 20% left, and my God, got swooped up in less than a week, which we're very, very happy to have you guys on with us. So obviously there's going to be some great content coming out with that colt, and they reckon it's an absolute ripper. So yeah, big thank you if you guys hopped on.
Sold out like that,
if you
guys.
missed out, by all means, you'll see the content we're going to get out of it. There's probably going to be more opportunities to get on with us. Again, we didn't make any money from it. It was literally just so you can get on with us and we'll talk about it and we can have some beers together, hopefully, when it wins some races.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Just get down that track, whether we're in Canberra, whether we're in bloody Randwick, whether we're in Cowra. Like, it's going to be fun. We're going to go to the track. We're all going to get around it. Hopefully, we can all catch up, like Nick said, for some beers and just have a lot of fun with this horse. But yeah, sold out like that. There will be more opportunities that we discussed with the man behind Monarch himself, Jason McAuliffe. That interview will be coming out soon enough on our YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. But apart from that, mate, let's just get cracking into this week. Shall we start with the hotline?
Yeah, mate, get the hotline up.
All right. Well, we spoke about Woderton. Here he is. Stocks, what's his reaction?
Woo! It's Everest Day.
Bet he says that Woderton could have won it.
You know who should be there? Woderton. But we won't talk about that. But I ran poor last weekend. Not gonna deny it. But we moved this weekend. The Everest, Jolly Star. It's her race to lose on the weekend. Kane Rising. I can't see him winning, to be honest. He didn't troll that good. And I think Jolly Star's prime. James McDonald, Chris Waller. She's going to get the gun run from the barrier. And, yeah, I think it's her Everest to lose. But, yeah, I'm keen for this weekend, guys. It's the best day of racing on the year. But so keen. Have a good weekend, guys.
Cheers, mate. Bold call. And I'm glad he brought up Kane Rising and his fitness because we actually did mention I was going to get to it, but I forgot.
Oh, I forgot, yes.
Wow. What a
debacle
that was. My goodness me. The entire industry got turned upside down on Sunday night because Sunday afternoon this rumour gets leaked. Hey, Kane Rising's a bit underdone here. He's just a bit underdone. So thousands of dollars starts getting offloaded on Betfair. People are laying it. So basically what that means, punters, they're saying he's not going to win. And that's causing markets everywhere to go crazy. More rumours come out. He's going to scratch. He hasn't been eating. He's got a broken leg. He's dead. All of these rumours going nuts.
He's not dead.
He's already back on the flight back to Hong Kong. He's out. He's scratched. He's this. He's that. Is he running? Isn't he running? The entire industry didn't know. Even the Tab didn't know. They suspended their market so they could get on the phone to certain people and go, what the hell is going on? Please tell us. Because we've got people dropping thousands on all these horses. Kane Rising's out to $2. Jimmy Star's into $3.50. It's everywhere. And like, before anyone tries to pin the blame on anyone and go, oh, you're an idiot. How could you fall for that? The same people are saying they had Knight's Choice last year in the Cup. Liars, okay? Because the entire industry, top journos didn't know what was going on. The Tab didn't know what was going on. And then David Hayes comes out and goes, yeah, I have no idea how that started. He's completely fine. You'll see in the morning when we gallop him. And he galloped fine. He looked nice and fit. He looked fit as a fiddle, ready to go. And he said, it's all a bunch of bullshit. I have no idea how it started. I've never had my phone blow up more. I've never had my phone blow up more with all the people texting me going, what the hell is going on? Like, I'm going to have the inside word. I spoke to as many people as I could to try and get that inside word. Some of them said, dude, he's fine. Others said, no, he's gone. He's fucked.
Yeah, right.
Like, nobody knew what was going on. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was weird. And, yeah, I fell for it. I put some money on, I won't say who because we'll go through the rundown a little bit later. But, yeah, I put some money on outside because I was like, well, got to get on. This is my chance. If he's not racing or if he's not fit, which, like, if he doesn't win, it'll come out that it was true. So,
yeah. But
wait and see.
Crazy. Carrying Rising out to 240, Jimmy Star into 350, and then half an hour later, they're all back to their original prices. Like, it's just was bizarre. Nobody knew what was going on. Can't wait to unpack who actually is going to win that race later. But we will push on with the hotline with Jake.
Hey boys, it's James again here. Going on the race in the weekend. Haven't been for a while. Yeah, there's a lot of hype around this Caulfield Rising horse. Look, I hope it gets rolled. Personal. I don't know if there's anyone cheering for it. On Saturday, that's not its owners. I'll be very disappointed in Australia, mate. I think we all got to get around the Aussie horses and cheer them home, mate. And let's get this thing beat, whatever it takes.
Well, fair enough.
Love that, mate.
Get the Aussie horses home, and then Corey Thompson. We all know what this is going to be about. We've got Apocalyptic Man.
Hey boys, thought I'd call up like I normally do, just to give you my tip for the weekend. Obviously it's Everest weekend. The Everest is on. No shit. Most eyes will be in Sydney at Rose Hill, but personally,
Randwick.
I don't have my eyes there. I've got my eyes down in Melbourne at Caulfield. Race 7, I believe. It's actually a Group 1, the 1,000 Guineas.
Yeah.
That's where my eyes are.
So's the
There's a
Everest.
horse jumping from barrier 4. Barrier 4, by the way, best barrier you could possibly get at Caulfield. Mark Zara is on the horse. That's another tick. It's Apocalyptic, $1.90. I just don't see a world where it loses. Yeah, that's probably my best bet of the weekend. Yeah, that's all I got to say, really.
Love that.
Thank you.
There you go, man. A few words this time. No poems, no screaming, no nothing. Just straight out. He's winning.
I'd love some poems.
I do think that Apocalyptic does get up, but we'll discuss that in a bit more length later when we do touch on the 1,000 Guineas as we go through all the big races on the weekend. But, mate, hit us with the listener questions. If you didn't have your listener question answered, it's because you asked for our opinion on a horse in the Everest, which, of course, we're going to do detailed runner-by-runner later, so that's why.
I can't say that one straight away. Hatos King, g'day lads. Who do you prefer, the circus or the Sydney Harbour for the event, the Everest barrier draw? I thought it was better this year. The circus was stupid.
The harbour's always better. The drone show's always better than that circus. Even the people in the room were laughing, going, well, what the hell is going on at the circus? That was dumb.
Life of Daniel asks, you get a risk-free $100 on a horse every start for the rest of its career. From today, who are you taking?
Wow.
That's
a great question. She's a sort.
She's a sort.
Well, if it isn't she's a sort, because I'm probably going to do that anyways. But
maybe an Angel Capital.
Yeah, you got to think who's going to be around for a while. I'm trying to think of like a gelding that will be around for a while. Wow, that's an unreal question.
Great question.
That's floored me. That I don't often get floored like that, but that has floored me. That's a really, really good question. Maybe a Sir Delius, if he's going to be around for another couple years. Yeah, I'm going to say Sir Delius, just with the thoughts that he is going to be around for at least another couple racing seasons. So, yeah.
Darcy Stocks Bloodstock should be banned from Hotline for fake propaganda. I agree. That was I was so hyped and it was literally for nothing. Anyway, Henry Bear, members or GA for Everest, members only, unfortunately. It's GA is just too hectic. You get half-strength beers. You're waiting in line for beers the whole time. Members is where it's at.
Unfortunately, yeah. We do like to duck into GA for the race itself, but then we're immediately back to members.
Yeah, we have for a lot. I don't think I will this year. Lucas, no, that's another one. Lucas says, if anyone took Jimmy at $3.90 on Sportsbet, they'd be in shambles at the moment. Someone check in on them.
Yeah, I feel bad for those people that did take it. At least I took Jimmy at $9 before he got wound into $3.50. That's crazy because now he's out to like $10 plus.
Do you think Private Jenny has it in her to win one more Group 1 this spring? Lachlan.
I mean, potentially. We'll talk about it later with the King Charles.
I don't think she wins the King Charles, spoiler, but I think she can win another Group 1 this spring. Quaddie for Caulfield, you get that at the end. If you could own any horse in the Everest race other than Kagging Rising, who would it be? If you can own one. Jetabil?
Yeah.
Nah.
Our boy Jetabil. I mean, I guess that'll all be revealed when we reveal who we're tipping.
Yeah, most of the questions are pretty similar, to be honest. What's the world pool for betting from Joshy Benz? That's a good one for you, mate.
That's a good question. So normally we have like the tote. So when you click tote on a racing bet, it's kind of like the money all goes into one big pool, and it really gets determined on where the money is going, even more so than fixed odds racing. So fixed odds, that's the bookmaker itself sort of going in and changing it, whereas the tote, that's sort of like standardized across the states. So each state has its own tote, then sometimes you can get the national tote. Bookmakers don't really have much of a control over that. That is literally as volatile as a stock market, as we saw the other night with Cashy Rising. The world pool, though, is exactly what it sounds like. All the money in the world goes into it now. So if you're over in England, your money's going into the same tote pool. If you're over in Hong Kong, as there's going to be an enormous amount of Hong Kong rich businessmen on Saturday betting into it, getting on Cashy Rising, all of that money's going into one gigantic, massive pool. So the win pool on Everest Day for the Everest is going to be ginormous, and you'd have to think that Cashy Rising, because of all that money that's going to get put on it by those rich Hong Kong businessmen, is just going to come right into like $1.20, and every other horse is going to blow right out. But yeah, essentially that's kind of how it works. I'm sure there's a better way to explain it, but I hope that explained it.
Awesome, mate. All right. Get into the Randwick rundown, mate. I think
Alrighty.
that's pretty much it. Thank you, everyone.
So like again, stay patient. We are going to get to the Everest, but here's just every other race on Everest Day. And then also we're going to be touching on what we like over at Caulfield. The weather is fine currently. We haven't really got much rain at all in the last sort of 3-4 weeks, Sydney. So it should be dry as a bone. The only reason it's soft 5 right now is probably because of sprinklers. But we do have a storm predicted for Friday with up to 14 millimeters at the most. Most people are saying we're going to get 5 at the most, but some weather reports are saying 14. So that's really going to play a bit of a factor into the races on the weekend. Okay, we could be racing on a good 4 come Saturday if that rain doesn't come at all. We could be on a soft 5 if maybe that's 6 or 7 for those playing at home.
That is such a dicko for Dicko there.
That 6, 7 millimeters
No way
could be dropped on the track. Or if that 14 millimeters come, we could be soft 6, soft 7, maybe even not heavy 8. We would maybe getting to soft 6 at the most. But that's going to be big, especially for the Everest. Cashy Rising didn't like that track the other day on its trial. So if we get soft 6, it's going to be vulnerable as anything. So yeah, we'll get into it. The rail's also at 3 metres, so it should play fair rail-wise. Race 1, 1400 metre Group 3 Reginald Allen Quality Handicap for the 3-year-old fillies. Very open race, but I'm going to be starting off nice and boring. I'm getting on the favourite, Snitzel Dancer. Has some really nice form lines for a race like this. Has a win over Shangri-La Boy, which is now a stakes winner. Won last week for us really strongly. And then she tackled older horses and was far from disgraced. Closed off really, really nicely. Jumps up 100 metres here, back to her own age group, and gets fillies only rather than having to tackle the boys. Should run well. $4.50. Starts me off with a win, hopefully.
Yep, I've just made Dicko a moderator in the chat as well. So Chatterley is mine for the first, $6.50. Second, first up was good enough for me, and it's going to be my first for Randwick. Race number 2, 2,600 metres. Interesting race, this one. Your favourite is Sam Hawkins, who has won very nicely overseas, which you absolutely love these overseas horses, mate. And for good reason, that's who I'm going to be on. They just breed them differently over there, and they run better at the long distance. So as long as it's acclimatised well to Australian standards, which from all reports it has, I'm going to go with it here. So $2.50 on the nose should be nice. Solar Spain one as well to have a look at. $4.80 is the other one I liked.
Fair enough. Just quickly, I apologise. I zoned out reading the chat. Who were you on race 1?
Race 1?
Yeah. Sorry,
I was on Chatterley.
Okay, cool. I'm sorry. I was just reading. The chat is going crazy, guys. It has been the last couple of weeks.
For the chat.
St. Ledger Stakes. Yes, I am with you. Sam Hawkins. I'm very confident this horse gets up. Haggis always comes over here with just some phenomenal horses. Great stayer over in Europe, let alone in here. Like you said, they just do it differently over there. And quite frankly, I have heard from the people working at Rosehill who are taking care of these imports that this guy has been far and away the best import.
Oh, you hear that every year, mate.
I guess you hear it every year, but like he's just professional, he's strong. This is the one to watch coming out of that yard. So I'm confident that he gets the chockies here and could be one to watch if he stays down under, that's for sure.
Yeah, nice.
Race 3.
T3, mate.
1600 metre big dance wild card. Open race here. Swift Falcon. Lines up as your favourite. It's his most winnable setup yet. Off a great run in the Epsom, but I just can't trust him. He likely finds a way to lose, as he always does. But I mean, on paper, he should destroy this field. So by all means, if you trust him, get on him. I'm on Magnetar. He's been having a great prep. Has form behind Headley Grange. He ran a blinder last week to cost us the quaddie and cost me my sanity when I said I'm all over him if it wasn't for that barrier. But he still got up from that barrier. So great form here for Magnetar. Loves the distance, loves the track. Has the early speed to overcome a wide draw. $7 to win, $2.35 to place. Magnetar for me in the third.
I'm going with Swift Falcon. Should be best horse in this race by far. $3.10. Ran it right in the Epsom, like you said earlier. Keep it pretty simple for that one. Big Dance is a mid-race. Race number 4, 1600 metres. Perfumus is your favourite. Another pretty open race here. It's probably one that I will have a little bit of a go at, especially at Dominator at $9 and $2.80 for a place. Last 2 starts have been there and thereabouts, third and fourth, behind Ideal Flighter. But Dominator is one that I can respect and can stay on. So race number 4, Dominator for me.
Polymena, however you say that. $14 to win, $3.50 to place. Has to turn the tables on the favourite Perfumist, who was phenomenal last start, but just got too far back. But closed off bloody impressively and just screamed, back me next start. So here I am, getting on her. I'm backing her. Hopefully she comes home well for me. As we skip race 5, the Kosciuszko, that's the tip-off. We move to race 6, the 1200 metre Sydney Stakes, which honestly, I think this is the worst Sydney Stakes we've seen in years because half the horses that usually would be in this race, because it's usually the Bs and C graders that didn't get an Everest slot, end up here. Half of them are in the Everest. So, I mean, who do you really go in this race? These are all back-end C graders, borderline D graders.
It's a tough race. You've got Iron and Merc. That's one that you probably can't leave out, which is at $16 proves it starts 61 against great fields. So it just shows you how terrible this field is. Rothfire, I'm surprised that's probably not in a little bit closer, really. 14 is probably the barrier that's given it. Golden Mile hasn't won a race in yonks, starting at $8. This is a terrible race.
How Golden Mile conned his way into an Everest emergency spot is beyond me. I mean, no slot owner was going to go, yeah, that's the best of the 4 emergencies that I'm going to take.
No, for sure. I'm going to settle with a striker, mate. $7, $2.30 for a place. There's not a lot of form in this, to be honest. It's just the one that I like probably the most. It's got decent form, I guess, behind Jolly Star if you want to do it, but it's still 4.5 lengths behind her. But look, there's not a lot of form in this race, and they're all pretty mid horses, so a striker for me.
I'm going to be on Generosity, the favourite. J-Mac, Waller combo here. Don't love that barrier, but geez, has the best form. Very similar form lines to a striker behind Jolly Star there, so you have to back her in. But I'm also going to have a cheeky little play on my roughie of the day, spoiler alert for later, Coal Crusher at $34. Like I said, it's a very open race. It's very mid-race. If it's going to ever pop up and win again, it's a race like this.
Yeah, for sure.
Often runs well in a Sydney Stakes as well, and has run well in better fields where the likes of Bella Nipotina and Overpass were running around here. So it's going to get up on the pace. It's going to lead and lead well, and hopefully just play catch me if you can. Could definitely fall into the placings at $7.25. I'll take that, and if it wins at $34, I'll be licking my lips. Generosity, the main play. Coal Crusher is your roughie of the day for me.
Race 10, 1400 metres. We skip the next couple for the tip-off. Kerguelen for me, $6. Outside barrier is the only thing. This is an absolute quaddie killer, and people are going to be trying to chase a lot of losses on this race. So, look, pick a roughie if you want. Kerguelen's the best horse. Should get it done. But, look, you can find some value out there for sure.
Rock Empire. Didn't really fire a shot first up, but went to the midweeks for a confidence run. Got it done with 61 kilos. Drops now 4 kilos back to 57 and comes back up to Saturday grade. Should get the clear lead from the draw. Could be tough to run down. $7 to win, $2.60 to finish off for me, as I'll be watching that in the Uber all the way to the Pitbull concert.
Awesome. Mate, let's get straight into the tip-off. We've still got a little bit to cover through for this pod.
So the Great Spring Tip-Off, we're going to go through all of the bigger races of the day. If you're just joining us, you don't know what that is. Nick and I go through and tip all the big races of spring, and we get points wherever they finish. The loser has to eat the spice gauntlet, going through a bunch of spicy foods to see how far they can go before they crack. And then Nick also is paying up next Friday. Okay, the Friday before the Cox Plate, he is paying up for his autumn punishment, doing the Pilates. Sorry it took us so long, but he is finally doing that, so expect to see that on socials the week after that. So we've got plenty of races to go through. It's 6 for the day, so those playing at home with your competitions, you might want to think about playing a joker this week because you've got so much to choose from. We'll start quickly with Caulfield Race 7, the 1600 metre 1,000 guineas, because I feel like it'll be the quickest analysis for the both of us. Do you want to say it on 3?
3,
1, 2, 3.
1.
Three.
How did we fuck that up?
3.
Apocalyptic.
Apocalyptic, yeah!
Apocalyptic, $2, I think. Looks to be the best 3-year-old going around at the moment. One of at least. Best horse in this race gets it done. Apocalyptic, take that for you, Corey.
Let's
anything
move
else
back.
to say?
Nah, Apocalyptic. I think as long as she keeps staying at this 3-year-old filly range, she should be getting it done. The only thing that stops her, I think, is not liking Melbourne way of going things. But I mean, the gallop the other day looked like she took to it well. So we'll see how she goes. But Apocalyptic for us. We'll go to Randwick Race 5, the 1,200 metre Kosciuszko. And now, mate, let's see if we split for once. Because I went back and looked. The last 3 years, we have tipped the same horse in the Kosciuszko.
Oh, really?
We haven't won. We've managed a couple of placings, but we have managed to land on the same horse for the last 3 years. Let's see if we do it again. What are you thinking?
I don't know if we will be. I think this might be the first time we're different. I'm heading with Gallant Star.
You're a dickhead. Oh my god.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
4 from 4, baby.
4 from 4. Gallant Star, $9.50 is the price I can have. I just can't be on front page. Like, I just can't be. It's got great first
Loves
up
this race,
record.
though.
Yeah, I know that. I just can't be, though. 5 starts, 3 wins at the first up and 2 in the placings as well. Good enough for me, $9.50. I can't believe that.
That's the same horse we tipped last year as well.
Yeah.
We've won it again.
Yeah.
We've gone Gallant Star, Mogo Magic, and then I believe the year before that we were on. I can't remember what Opal Ridge was. Is that Opal Ridge? No. What's the horse?
What's the one that we won big on as well?
That was that's 5 from 5.
Yeah.
Year before that was Art Cadeau.
Art Cadeau.
We went Art Cadeau. The year after that it's the red and black silks with stars. I can't remember if it's Opal Ridge or not.
Might be Opal Ridge.
And then we went Mogo Magic, Gallant Star, and now Gallant Star again. We have tipped the same horse in the Kosciuszko, 5 from 5. That's crazy. Yeah, so it's the country, the Everest. It's the highway Everest. So it's a borderline highway with a couple of horses thrown in there that have some, group form like Front Page, and that's why Front Page always wins, because he is the class horse in the field. But yeah, I just can't be on him in such an open race where just about anything really could win on paper, despite the fact that one horse keeps running well. Gallant Star always runs well, never puts a foot bad. Last year ran pretty well without winning. Let's fingers crossed we can get it up, mate. As we move to race 8.
I can get it up.
The 1,300 metre Silver Eagle. Let's see how we go there, mate. Let's see if we finally split.
Look, not a bad race. I'm not too sure here. I'm going to settle with, who am I kidding? Lord Penman, $10, $2.80. Didn't run terribly, I thought, in
could have done worse.
Could have done worse, and obviously this field's a lot weaker. So we'll take that Lord Penman for me at $10 and $2.80. Thank you.
I can't get over the fact that for the 5 years we've been doing this, we've tipped the same horse in the Kosciuszko every single year. Look, I mean, linebacker, make of what you will. Everyone's saying he's like a moral now because of that trial where he beat Kagan Rising, but it is a trial. He is a notorious trial like Tarzan, run like Jane sort of horse. I'm happy for him to go around without my money, but if he comes and smashes them, by all means. A lot of these horses obviously need to run well to get into the Golden Eagle. I believe it's first 3 across the line get into the Golden Eagle. If not, definitely the winner does. Just about every horse here has that intent. So it'll be a very hard run race. No horse is coming here to just run for fitness. They've all got the intent to get in, especially Lord Penman. Chris Waller came out and said, we're running him here. We need him in that race. Let's get it going, especially since most of his 4-year-old girls aren't end up going there. But I have settled on Mayfair. I've just got a feeling about this horse. Ex-Gay Waterhouse, Adrian Bott, and Bjorn Baker swooped in and bought him off them for pennies on the dime, I believe. If that's the right way of saying that saying, I'm not sure.
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is. But this horse has also rarely put a step wrong. Only 1 win from 9 career starts, but has placed 5 other times. So, I mean, 6 from 9 for the placings. Can get it done if it is a little bit softer as well. But yeah, should just get up on that pace, and Bjorn knows how to turn around a horse. So $8 to win, $2.50. I'm keen on Mayfair's chances here because he's also come out and said, yeah, we got this horse and I think they're going to regret it. I think this horse is very untapped. So looking forward to this race. As we move to the King Charles III Stakes, fast becoming the best race on the day outside the Everest. And I think in a few years' time, if we get some fields, it could end up being better than the Everest because it just keeps getting more and more stacked. What are you thinking looking at that field, mate?
Lake Forest, $5.50 worries me, but just seems to be a 14 to 1500 meter horse. Looks like it'll be really good in a Golden Eagle, but I don't know, stretching out to that 1600, not too sure. I think I'm going to go with someone that is going to be all reliable for me in terms of a place, and it's going to be Mr. Brightside.
Fair.
Very confident that he'll be there or thereabouts, plus can get it done. $5.50 for the win. Mr. Brightside for me in the King's Charles.
Look, I mean, who am I to jump off Fangirl here, despite the wide barrier and the potentially soft ground? Waller's come out and said he's not really concerned about that barrier because of how much speed's in the race, so he knows that she'll be able to slot in and be able to relish that hot tempo. If it was a slower tempo that, Avia Sistina's been cursed with the last few runs, she might, not have the pace to be able to pick it up, but he is confident that it will be able to charge them down. Just needs it as dry as possible. I'm going to say soft 6 or worse. I'm going to be on Pericles. I'm going to pivot to Pericles because I think Pericles was great late behind Autumn Glow and is more suited to the wet ground. Also, I could entertain a bet on Peer as well. Was great behind Autumn Glow, and at $26 to win, $5.75 to place. If you're playing at home in the tipping combo, I wouldn't blame you whatsoever to go that horse. You could pick up a lot of points there. Tom Kitten as well, each way. I mean, if you can roll one of these favourites when it comes to Pride of Jenny, Mr. Brightside and Fangirl, Lake Forest, you're going to be picking up plenty of points. Even a Cheerwolf, really, if he put his best up again, since, he did win last year, even that's a 14-point play for you as well. But Fangirl, I've got on top, pivoting to Pericles if we end up on like a soft 6, a soft 7. But I think if you're able to make ground on the day and it's a little drier, Fangirl for me. But I mean, Pride of Jenny, mate, we know what she's going to do. Do you think, like last year they were able to run her down? What do you think? Do you think she's getting
I think
down?
In Sydney helps for the other horses if it's in Melbourne. Moonee Valley for sure, I think.
Because she's only pulled it off once in Sydney when she did that ridiculous Queen Elizabeth lead and they were all asleep at the wheel. They know what to do with her now. And this is a big field. This isn't like a Moonee Valley where it's a small tactical field where there's not many to put pressure on it. They're all going to be putting pressure on her.
For sure. Nah, we'll wait and see.
Oh, mate, that concludes the Great Spring Tip-Off. We've got 2 more races to discuss, but we'll leave that for the runner-by-runner preview. We'll quickly go through what we like at Caulfield on the day.
For sure, mate. What do you got?
Race 3, I've got Just a Journey, $2.40. Just a black book. Always back your black booker. Black booked off its last start where it looked really, really good and just got pipped. I've also got Tentaris in race 4 at $2.80. Could have potentially ended up at an Everest, just they decided to stick to Melbourne so they could focus on the Coolmore. Race 6, I've got Zealously, $2.70, broke the Warwick Farm track record, or maybe it was the Rosehill track record. Wherever it was last start, broke the track record in great fashion, so keen to follow it here. Then race 8, I've got Private Eye, $2.50, and that's just because he's just a classy horse. They're all favourites, but let's hope they all, run up to their price.
I've only got a couple, mate. I've got a Bounding in race 10, number 5. I've got Ray Mag, race 6 at $6. Ray Magnerio, that is. Tiger Shark in race 5 at Caulfield. And McCaw, number 1, race number 4, number $5. So that's for me. Good luck. But, mate, let's get into it, eh?
Mate, are we here? Are we ready for the runner-by-runner?
I don't know if everyone's ready for this. Get to your screens now. Let's have a look at this Everest.
Are we going for the Everest first?
Do you want to go through the Everest first?
It's up to you. Everest or Caulfield Cup first?
I think we just go through.
All right, they've been waiting for the Everest. Let's give it to them, okay? So the Everest, runner by runner, contenders from pretenders. We're going to tell you exactly who can win and why, who can't win and why. Nicholas Highland, take us through the field.
All right, here we go, guys. Looking amazing. We've got Caulfield Rising. You've got Briasa. You've got Overpass, Jimmy Star, War Machine, Marzu, Jedabil, Angel Capital, Jolly Star, Lady Shenandoah, Magic Time, and Tempted.
Unreal, mate. Unreal.
So yeah,
It's
just
hot, hot
a
field.
little graphic thing. I hope you guys liking that.
Producer Nick's been hard at work
Yeah.
here. If you're watching on the YouTube, you know what we're talking about. If you're listening, you're probably thinking, what the heck? Go to the YouTube. You'll find out.
Yeah. So straight away, let's get into our first runner, mate.
Oh, well, let's just quickly go through the speed
Yeah,
map.
true.
Just
Sorry,
so
speed
people
maps.
know
I'm getting too excited.
what's looking like the speed map. You are getting excited. We are going to get some speed map graphics as well to add to producer Nick's talents here.
Yeah.
That'll be coming in the next couple of weeks as well. The speed map, obviously with the draws, you've got Tempted in there in the inside. Will probably get shuffled a little ways back, as will Angel Capital and Jimmy Star. But they're also probably not going to aim to get too far back because they know if they get too far back, these leaders are going to skip away. The leaders are going to be Overpass, Caulfield Rising, and Marzu. You'd think that Marzu grabs the front lead if Caulfield Rising doesn't opt to grab the front lead. Since Overpass is drawn outside of him, you'd think he'd have the ability to go all the way and grab that front spot. Or if Purton wants to just sit back from that 7th barrier and sit one pair back, he's able to do so. Then the rest of them, you know, your Jedabills, Briasas, Lady Shens, Magic Time, Jolly Star, War Machine, they'll all sit somewhere in the midfield and they'll start to create their pairs before they go around that turn and they all start to break up and go through the line. If you want to just get back up on the screen, mate, I'll go through some stats and facts as well, just if you are into that sort of thing. The favourite has won this race 3 out of 8 times in history. 7 out of 8 winners have started single figures in betting. Not many roughies going around apart from Giga Kick that one year. 7 of the 8 winners have also been male horses, Bella Nipotina being the first female last year. 3-year-olds have won the race twice. 7 of the 8 winners, their final lead-up race, they didn't all win them, but 7 of the 8 last final lead-up races have been in Sydney. Melbourne form has not been the go, and I mean, we haven't had to deal with this before, but international form's the unknown. And then 6 out of 8 winners have won from a single-digit barrier. Very hard to win from out wide. So, mate, let's go runner by runner.
All right, number 1, we have Caulfield Rising, mate. Straight away, pretender or contender?
I mean, look, contender. I'm not an idiot, okay? I know there's all these rumours around his fitness, but he is a contender, even if he is not fully fit, because he's probably 90% is better than half of this field. So, yeah, him at 80% is probably better than at least half this field to be able to finish in the first half. I mean, Zach Purton's come out and said if the horse that rocked up on trial day rocks up, he's not winning. But if the horse that rocks up on gallop day rocks up, he is winning, and very well, because he was as fat as he's ever been. Apparently now he's as fit as he's ever been. I'm no trainer. I'm no horse biology expert. I don't know how that happens in 10 days, but apparently it has. So, I mean, before I go through all the other extra details, what do you just think of him? He's the $1.70 fave out of barrier 7. What are you thinking?
Contender. Let me just read out a couple of stats for everyone at home.
I love that.
I think everyone knows the Caulfield Rising is a good horse and they've heard about it, but let me just tell you how good this horse is. This horse has had 32 career starts, 28 wins,
It's ridiculous.
and 4 second places. So it hasn't come outside of Quinella and has won 28 times.
It's outrageous.
Is an 8-time Group 1 winner, is a 6-time Group 2 winner, and a 4-time Group 3 winner. So
Outrageous. Seriously.
outrageous. Majority of his runs have been at the 1,200 meters, at the distance. Need I go further into this? That's all I have to say. They're not reporting much to anyone, to be honest, but genuine contender.
Look, I'll just a quick market update. $1.70 when we did our notes. He's now out to $1.85. Jolly Star was at $7.50 in my notes. She's now into $6. So make of that what you will. But yeah, mate, look. His fitness rumours have been the talk of the town. Quite frankly, it gives me VSSC and a Cox Plate vibes. Is she running? Is she fit? Is he running? Is he fit? She came out and lapped them. I think this horse could do a very similar thing. I think he's absolutely going to smash it in. He'll come into $1.20 on the tote, as we discussed. The Hong Kong businessmen, they're going to be cheering, they're going to be loading. 7th barrier is perfect for him to do whatever they want. He can push forward, grab that sole lead. He can sit outside Marzu if he wants. He can sit one pair back and then flex his muscles and go bang down the straight, which I think he's probably going to do. Is he beatable? Yes. Will he lose? I say no. Will I be playing other horses for a place and maybe pray they beat him for a bigger payout? Of course, because he is not an attackable price. Unless he gets over that $2, he is not an attackable price. But like I said, is he vulnerable? Potentially. Could he lose? Potentially. But does he lose? I don't think so, personally.
Fair enough.
All right, mate. Number 2.
Number 2, we have Briasa, mate.
Yes, Tyler Schiller rides for the Hawks team out of barrier 10. Currently $13 to win, $2.80 to place. Pretender or contender?
Contender for me. You go through first, mate.
Look, I've never really rated this horse. To be fair, he earned my respect last start in that fantastic run he put in the Premier, beating Jimmy Star. Jimmy Star did lunge at the line, but just got too far back. But this time around, draws barrier 10, which I think is going to spell danger for him. I think he ends up being too wide when trying to slot in and find a spot. Burns too much petrol early. For that reason, I can only see him placing, honestly, at $2.80. Not a bad play. Not the worst bet in the world. I just don't think he can win. And at that, Brias is a pretender for mine.
Wow, okay. TJ Smith winner for this year and is absolutely flying. 8 wins from 12 career starts is insane, in my opinion. Won nicely in front of Jimmy Star and Private Harry last week in the Group 2 Premier Stakes. Seems to be a real dig deep horse, and it was always there at the end. Ran a nice second behind Jolly Star as well. I just say do not leave him out of exotics.
That's what I mean. I think he'll potentially come home for exotics for a place, but I just can't see him win, which is the case for a lot of these horses.
Fair enough.
Number 3, mate, Overpass. Josh Parr rides for Bjorn Baker out of barrier 9. $51 to win, $8 to place. I mean, contender or pretender, mate?
Let me get it up here, mate. Overpass for me is obviously a pretender. I've written my notes down, but I wrote them in the wrong order before it came out. Pretender for me, you go first.
Yeah, pretender for me as well. He does his best work first up, to be fair. He'll be up on the pace. He'll be looking dangerous for quite a while, but I just can't see him being good enough or strong enough to hold pace with Caulfield Rising. He might fall into the places or fade for a noble 5th, but I mean, we've seen what he can do all around the country. He's ran really well in Sydney, especially his Sydney Stakes last year. He's done really well over in Perth, but that's a different kettle of fish here. It's a lot bigger race. It's a lot more pressure. It's Caulfield Rising. I just don't think he's going to be able to hold pace with him. If anything's going to beat Caulfield Rising, it's someone coming from behind because they've gone too hard up front. He is not going to be able to match engines with him, and for that fact, he is a pretender.
Fair enough. 2-time winning Group 1 horse, has to go around at the Everest. Winner of the Winterbottom in 2024 and 2023. Is that a Group 1?
Yeah, no, it's Perth. Doesn't count.
Second in trial in front of Caulfield Rising helps if you like the look of that. However, second in a TJ Smith behind Briasa also reads well, but I think the best this horse has already been seen. Likes the turf a little bit wet, so that little bit of sting the turf might get from that storm might help. But overall, I think there's just better horses in the race. Pretender for me.
Fair enough, mate. Number 4, Jimmy Star. Ethan Brown rides. Kieran Maher trains out of barrier 11. $12 to win, $2.70 to place. Pretender or contender?
Look, I have this Jimmy Star as a pretender. 2-time Group 1 winner of the all-age stakes from this year and the Oakley Plate winner as well. Ran home strong behind Briasa last week. Start before that looked pretty average, I must say. Big call on this one. I know a lot of people will probably question me about this. Honestly, love him as a horse, but as a process of elimination, I think he's one that I have to eliminate, and that barrier itself has just ruled him out for me. I had him as a borderline contender pretender going into it before barriers, but now I just think he's got to be a bit of a pretender getting that outside barrier.
1,000%. Bookies seem to have thought he was the best chance to beat Caulfield Rising since he came into 350. I got some of the 9s that was on offer before that. So, I mean, if he wins, I won't be too mad. But I agree with you, mate. Despite being phenomenal last start when he got too far back, with this barrier, he's going to get too far back again, you'd have to think. I was all over him if he was going to be drawing closer to the inside so he could be closer to them. But now he's either going to have to be 3 wide the trip all the way around, or he's going to have to go all the way back to last. And can he make up a potential of 6, 8, 10 lengths? Who knows how far they'll stretch out on a Cashy Rising. Again, I'm going into this with the attitude that Cashy Rising is going to be at its best and that engine is firing 100%. I don't think at that someone that's on his tail could run him down, let alone that far back. So, I mean, he'll come home like a bullet. He'll relish the hot tempo they'll give him heading into the straight. I just don't think he'll have the time to run them all down. Meaning, again, he's a great place chance at that price. I just don't think he wins, so he's a pretender.
Fair enough, mate.
Number 5, War Machine. Timmy Clark rides for the Hayes boys. So David Hayes trains Cashy Rising. His sons all train War Machine out of barrier 4, $13 to win, $2.80 to place.
Got him down as a pretender here. Horse has been solid to finish this prep in winter. Sorry, has been solid to finish his prep from winter. Winning the Stradbroke Group 1 and starting off with a nice Group 2 in Flemington 2 weeks back. But another one for me, just out of his depth against this crowd. Solid Group 2 horse. Think can sneak its way through, get another Group 1. But just not this one, in my opinion.
I think he's the forgotten horse in the field. Queensland Winter into Everest setup has worked time and time again. Think About It and Bell and Nipotina both seeing huge wins off a Queensland Carnival in the last couple of years. Phenomenal first up. Immediately got put into the Everest off the back of it for a good reason. It was carrying a ton of weight and just made them all look second rate. To be fair, they are second rate. This is a different kettle of fish. But, I mean, he draws to do no work. Sit a couple pairs back, ride the pace, and, just be super. Late over the top of them. The Hayes sons know exactly how to train big winners. They might be the best chance to knock off their dad, honestly. Just doesn't want it too wet. The drier, the better for this horse. Can get it done in the wet, but prefers a dry deck. And David did come out and say, I don't know if he was just saying it because he's their sons, but he did come out and say that he very highly respects that horse, and he's one of the few horses he's a bit scared of. So I think War Machine is 100% a contender.
Awesome.
We go to number 6, Marzoo, with Collet to ride for the Joe Pride stable out of barrier 2. At $100 to 1, $15 to place.
Didn't write much form on this, to be honest, because...
So he's at 126 to 1.
Yeah, originally wasn't in the field. It was the last one to get brought in for good reason as well. Running for prize money, not for me. That's all I have to say.
I mean, needs the heavens to open up if he's going to be any chance in the finish. Up to 14 mils, probably needs 40 mils if he's going to be a chance. I think Yulong only picked him to be a pacemaker for the 2 horses they've already got in the field with Magic Time and Angel Capital. They need hot tempos to be strong late. He's going to make sure there is a hot tempo. He'll ping from the gates. He'll be up there early. Expect him to fade quickly when they get to the 200 though. As we move to number 7, Jetta Beale. We all know the story with this horse. McAvoy rides for Brad Widdop out of barrier 8. $251 to 1, $41 a place. Shout out to you, Lockie, if you're listening. He joined us last week to tell us all about his chances, and he did say that they really need, the more inside the better, so he could get cuddled up and he could flash home late. Now he's probably going to struggle to find his spot, but we all know now if he does manage to beat 3 horses home, I'm going dressed as a mulberry jockey on Golden Eagle Day, and I really hope he does beat 3 horses home because that'll be a bit of fun. I'm keen to do that if, I'll eat my words. I'll happily eat my words, but I'm pretty confident that I'll be wearing a suit and tie. Pretender for me, mate. What are your thoughts?
Pretender won the Challenger Stakes early this year and in a Group 2. Has run in 3 Group 1s unplaced. Can somehow get some water into the track during the week. It'll probably improve a little bit, but running for prize money as well. Pretender for me.
Yes, well, I hope he finishes as high as possible, but will not be winning. As we move to number 8, the first of the Waller horses, mate. Angel Capital, Ben Mellum rides, Chris Waller out of barrier 3. If you want to get the graphic up, $17 to win, $3.40 to place. This has been the market mover. This was the horse that was 30s a couple of days ago, and even after the tumultuous market shifts, it came into 17s and it sat at 17s. It hasn't moved much, so people clearly think highly of this horse.
Yeah, contender for me, rising star in the ranks here. If I had to have $100 on a horse for every star, to be Angel Capital, who I said earlier. This stallion was given a butchered ride and should have won the Sir Rupert Clark pretty easily. Stakes early this spring, uncapped potential. If it runs well, could be a solid chance. One of the better looks for sure.
Contender for me, but he's the cutoff for me, contender-wise. He's my least confident contender, but I just can't rule out a possible win for him. He's just a big, strong colt that knows how to do so much well. Also knows how to do a lot of stuff wrong. But he's drawn potentially to get shuffled all the way back, like I mentioned earlier, but I expect Waller will be smarter than that and tell him to push up into that midfield, make sure that he gets the elbows out and doesn't get shuffled all the way back. He's certainly capable of. He can ride all the way from the back and he can ride from the midfield. He's one doing both. If he does so, he'll be in a great position to run over the top of them late. If he gets all the way back, I think race over. But if he is within touch of them going around that bend with his blistering closing speed, I definitely wouldn't be surprised if he wins here. So yeah, contender for me as we move to number 9. The second elect, like I said, only a matter of hours ago, she was $7.50. She is now into $6. McDonald rides, Waller trains, Jolly Star out of barrier 5.
Yep, contender for me. 3-time Group 1 winner. Jolly Star is the leading contender behind the obvious Kai Ying. Winner of the Kingsford Smith and Newmarket this year and 1,000 guineas in 2023. Back to her best after a first up win in the Group 2 shorts at Randwick a few weeks back. Going a step up nicely to the 1,200 and is definitely a contender. People forget she's already won 2 Group 1s this year and has also run a place in a Group 1 and Group 2 all since the start of the year. So has to be my top Aussie going in. So give it a chance.
Yeah, contender. Second elect in the market for a reason, and quite rightly so after that barrier draw. Gets the perfect draw to settle wherever McDonald wants her. Where I have to assume would only be 3-4 pairs back maximum. Waller came out and said that last year there was a bit more boom on her and she failed to impress. But he said she hasn't gotten bigger, she hasn't gotten stronger, she hasn't gotten faster, but she's gotten more mature. Her head is strapped on a bit more correctly. She's, more focused on the job. She knows how to do everything right at the right time now. So get to the racetrack on the weekend. If she's in touch with them on the bend, she is going to be super, super dangerous late, you have to think. Also has that Queensland fitness, because one of those Group 1s came up in Queensland. So if you like that history form line, back her in for as much as you got there. And I will say, this race often suits 1,300 to 1,400 metre horses, which you could arguably say she is. And God, she sprints well fresh.
For sure.
And she is fresh here after a month off. So another horse that the drier the better for her. Can get it done in the wet, but the drier the better for her. She'll be looking very, very dangerous if Kaying Rising is off his game. That's for sure. As we move to number 10, the last of the Waller horses, Damien Lane will ride out of barrier 6, $14 to win, $2.80 to place. Lady Shenandoah.
Yeah, contender was my top seed going into the Spring Carnival. 3 Group 1s for her in the Flight Stakes, Surround and Coolmore Classic. Has had a disappointing start to her campaign this spring, but looking to bounce back pretty well. She ran second to Headwall in a Group 3 to start her prep, where she was just stuck in traffic and she was luckless. We'll give her a forgive for that run. Running 4th in the Manicato was pretty disappointing for sure. And I understand why people can't forgive that run. Me personally, I think she just doesn't suit the run style for the Valley. Different ballpark running, opposite direction, short straight. There's just a lot of variables that she couldn't handle. I think she can bounce back really well, and all these 2 runs have done negatively is give her a high price tag. So I'll shop around with her for sure, and yeah, definitely a contender.
Contender for me, another one that is probably hoping the rain stays away. Ran poorly in Melbourne, but like you said, Moonee Valley, completely different setup. She's not a Valley horse, and hopefully she never goes there again. Gets back to a nice, big, wide open Randwick. Gets to really stretch her legs out here. Drawn well, should get the back of some solid pace and be one of the strongest late. Again, definitely one you do not want to leave out of your exotics. You'd have to think at $2.80, great place play.
For
Honestly,
sure.
Great place play. As we move to number 11, Magic Time. Mickey D rides, Beg trains out of barrier 12. $71 to win, $11 to place if you want to get the graphic up there, Nick.
Sorry, mate.
I mean, pretender for me, you'd really only be able to have her off the fact that she releases 13 to 1400, which I said the winners of this race of the last few years really have. But other than that, she's going to have to be super to win from that barrier off her style.
Yeah, 2-time Group 1 winner, Sir Rupert Clark in 2023 and all-age stakes in 2024. Don't think it's suited to this race. Obviously, won at the distance 2 starts ago in a Group 3 against a way weaker field, but placed against Barracuda is definitely a plus, but out of her depth. Magic Time, out of her depth.
Fair enough. And then number 12, Tempted. Craig Williams. He's rode a few Everest winners now, so he knows what it takes to win one. Kieran Maher trains out of the very first barrier. $17 to win, $3.50 to place. Tempted. Pretender or contender, mate?
Pretender. Three-year-old looks to be one of the next big things, to be honest. Eight starts, 4 wins, one nicely at the 1,200 metres. Couple starts ago, can't deliver in the Golden Rose. She's just too young. Going to have a great career, but just don't see her getting it done this one.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same attitude of you here. She's small, she's speedy, and that's just it. She's really small. And 3-year-olds often run really well in this race, but those are boys. Those are colts, geldings that just have big, strong muscles, big, strong strides. She is just not as strong. She is not as mature as this group. I think, yeah, she could potentially be a great runner for this race in maybe a year's time, maybe even 2 years' time. But she showed she doesn't really run a super strong 1,400 in the Golden Rose, so the 1,200 metres is the ideal step back here. But just I don't think she has the strength to stick with them with the amount of pressure in this race will have. I'm happy to eat my words if she gets up here, and it would be great if she gets up here. It'd be really nice to see her stamp herself as the next big thing of Australian sprinting. But I just think that she's one of these horses that needs to wait a year or two before she really comes of age.
For sure, mate.
All right. So we've said who can win and why, who can't win and why. Now tell me, who is winning?
Kiting Rising wins. From a betting perspective, a lot of bookies, as we've said, will come out and give you the second place. For that reason, I'm going to be on Lady Shenandoah. Good price where I want to have it. Jolly Star's close second in that look as well. So, yeah, do what you have to. But, yeah, for me, Jolly Star, Lady Shenandoah, but Lady Shenandoah will be on top for me.
If you had to do a top 4?
Yep, so Kai Ying, Briasa, Lady Shen, and Jolly Star. It's pretty boring. It's probably the top 4 in the market, but they're definitely the best.
Fair enough. On top, again, call me boring, Kiting Rising wins. But like I said, is he vulnerable? Yeah. Am I going to try and bet around him to potentially get him beat? Yeah. Also, I have him at $13. So, I mean, I win either way if I can hedge my bets on the day. I'm going to go with War Machine because I really am confident on his place prospects here. So I will definitely be going very heavy on him to place on the day, as I will be going with most of the horses heavier. Like I'll be making each way bets all day. Maybe, you know, if you're breaking down $10, maybe a $2.50 to win, $7.50 to place. Always heavier on the place because I do think Kiting Rising is winning here. But yeah, War Machine I think is the best chance potentially to knock him off. I just think he is the complete forgotten horse. Top 4 for me would have to be Kiting Rising, War Machine, Jolly Star, and then Lady Shenandoah. Jimmy Star very, very, very stiff not to get a first 4 run there. Just like I said, I don't think he wins, but he will be coming home very late and potentially fall into the placings. They're great place play, just don't think he wins. So yeah, there is the Everest runner by runner. Let's just take a breather quickly because we're about to do the same thing all over again for the Caulfield Cup. Okay, and that's an 18-horse field, but I mean, not a lot of extra detail to go in for some of these runners because it is a very underwhelming Caulfield Cup this year. That's for sure, I'd have to say, mate.
Yeah, no, it's definitely disappointing, as we said before. But yeah, look, we'll get through it. It's not going to be as hyped as it. We probably should have left the Everest for last, but that's okay. Do we want to get straight into it, mate?
Yeah, I'll quickly take you through some stats before you go through the field. If it just loads for me here. 5 of the last 18 winners were favourites. 8 of the past 16 winners started from barriers 10 or wider. Only 5 winners of the last 30 editions have been female horses. Of the last 16 editions, 5 winners were international imports. And I'm talking about horses that like rocked up from Europe, not horses that came from Europe and stayed in Australia. And then 11 of the last 22 winners carried 55 kilos or more. When it comes to the speed map, you've got Plymouth, Banker's Choice, and the Chautauqua Silks likely to be your leaders, with Land Legend probably riding those tails, as well as River of Stars to push up from the 4th barrier. And then the rest of them will probably just sort of slot in. You don't really know what the internationals are going to do. Your Valiant King and Half Yours of the world will probably be sitting towards the back. Your Deacons and Adelaide Rivers will probably be sitting more forward, but the rest of them are just going to slot in, find their spots and make up the midfield and wait till the latter stages to really show themselves. But, mate, if you want to take us through the field in depth, show us who's racing.
So we get split into two. So you got Vaborn up first. You got Presage Nocturne.
Yep.
You got Middle Earth, Maidan, Absurd, Land Legends, Dozy, Adelaide River, and Banker's Choice. And then second page, you got Deacon, Golden Snap, Revelair, River of Stars, Birdman, Half Yours, Royal Supremacy, Valiant King, and Plymouth.
Yes, 18 horse field for the Caulfield Cup this year. Again, like always, you would have seen it on your screen, guys. If you want to download Double, you can use code MOCSports when signing up to let them know we sent you, but make sure to imagine what you could be buying instead and set a deposit limit when doing so. I mean, let's go through the field, mate. If you want to click on number 1 there, Vaborn. Blake Shin rides for Gay Waterhouse and Bot, 58 kilos he carries, which obviously you didn't hear me say the weights for the last horses, but it's a bit more relevant in a stayers race here for the Cup. Out of barrier 13, $12 to win, $3.40 to place. Pretender or contender?
Contender for me. Look, we have him on for a watch. I know that, but he's got a chance in this one. I think he's settled. He's doing all right. His run last start really helped. So contender for me. Vaborn.
Look, closed off well in the Metropolitan to grab 5th after was just a disgustingly bad run first up. He's been the big boom horse for the Cups last 3 years running, well, 3 years including this year. Last year and the year before, he was the unbeatable horse that ran like shit both times. I just think he's absolutely cast. There's some hurdle races for him next year at Warrnambool that'll probably be his style. I reckon he's that far gone, in my opinion. Now that I've said that, he'll kill them and he'll win this by lengths, and I'll look really, really silly. But yeah, Pretender for me, Vaborn. As we move to number 2, Presage Nocturne. I want to try and pronounce this correctly here. It's going to be tough here with these European horses. Stefan Pasquier, I believe, trained by Alessandro Botti. All right, mate, if you want to get the graphic up. For me personally, out of barrier 8, $27 to win, $5.75 to place. Can never write the internationals off here, and despite being way more suited to the Melbourne Cup, you'd have to think he could win here without surprise if he flexed his staying muscles. European jockey has followed him over here, so they must think he has some chance there with Presage Nocturne. Off you go.
Pretender.
Oh.
Yeah, don't know. Not the best for me. But yeah, look, this Caulfield Cup, I must say, is the weakest I've seen in a long time as well.
Probably the weakest we've ever covered.
For sure. But yeah, overseas horse is going to do it decent. Is it looking to go to the Cup?
If it runs well here, it's going to press on.
Yeah. No for me, though. $34. It's going to be up there. But yeah, Pretender.
Middle Earth, number 3 here. Mark Zara to ride for Kieran Maher. 56.5 kilos. Barrier 3. $16 to win. $3.75 to place.
Yeah, Pretender. I think there's just better horses in this race. If you want some value, it's there. It's been pretty ordinary, this kind of prep. It's got decent form, I guess, if you want to go behind Sir Delius, but it's a long way behind him. So for me, Middle Earth is a Pretender.
If you're, look, lightly saying contender here, as Kieran Maher has set him specifically for this race, and it's his grand final, whereas others are using this as a run towards the big one in November. Zara is riding, and he doesn't waste his Cup chances, so he must be confident. If it wins, wouldn't shock me, but like, he's the cutoff here. As we move to number 4, mate, if you want to get the graphic up, Maidan.
Sorry, I didn't do the Middle Earth one. My bad.
Again here, Andre Atzani rides for Simon E. Crisford. It's into $7.50 to win and $2.50 to place. 56 kilos out of barrier 5. What are your thoughts?
Contender. One of the better Euro horses coming over. $7.50 is probably a price where it makes sense. Yeah, they just do it a lot better over in the UK and over in Europe. So definite contender. Should run really well and should be fit.
Best of the internationals in this one has looked an absolute tank without winning in a lot of his most recent races. Suited more in this one than a Melbourne Cup. Apparently Camp are very confident with his chances here, as am I. He's drawn to get a great spot, tuck away, bide his time, flex his muscles late. Same trainers that Without a Fight had before Without a Fight came and stayed in here, and then we saw what he could do a year later under the watchful eyes of the Freedmans. So, I mean, we know that this team is able to produce a good stayer before obviously handing it off to the Aussies, where we just do it better, apparently. But just needs it to be as dry as possible, which they should be getting on the weekend. Not much rain about in Melbourne. So, yeah, Maidan is a contender for me as we move to another international, number 5. Absurd. Ben Allen writes, Mullins trains 55 kilos out of barrier 1, 27 to win, $6 to place.
Pretender for me. Only think it looking for a little bit longer. It's gonna probably head to a cup if it can get there, of course. But yeah, looks just to be a bit short for Absurd. Other than that, if you want to go for it, by all means, it's fit and it's a good horse. I just think it peaks over the 2,800.
Yeah, decent horse, 5th in the Melbourne Cup last year, but with good reason. He's more suited to 3,200 than he is 2,400, especially at 55.5 kilos here. I think he's weighted out of this one. He's distanced out of this one. He runs well, could grab a placing, but I'm going to wait off till the Melbourne Cup, in my opinion, with him.
Nice.
Move to number 6, mate. Jamie Mott rides Land Legend for Chris Waller, 55.5 kilos out of barrier 15, 23 to win, 5 to place.
Yeah, this horse is... It's just settling for a cup prep, but honestly, it's a pretender for me. It's been a pretender for a while. It just can't get it done. I don't know what's going on, so won't get it done in my opinion. If it does, I'll be really, really surprised.
Yeah, you're right. Came to the country with a lot of promise and just hasn't delivered apart from that St. Ledger win on debut and then the Group 1 Metropolitan last year. But that was another one where he just sort of popped up and won out of nowhere and then continues to just pop up and have flashing runs. But he could pop up and win here. I just don't think he does. We know he gets the distance, but I think he's just going to spend too much petrol from that barrier to find a spot. Could close off for a nice placing, but cannot see him winning as we move to number 7, Zardozi. One of our old favourites, mate. Coffee rides, Mayor trains, 54.5 kilos, 11th barrier, 23 to win, $5 to place.
Contender. Look, I can't rule her out, I think, because if she comes out and she wins, I'll be kicking myself. $23 is a price you can have. Look, I think we all expected her to be a lot better this spring. But yeah, not the best start to what we've seen so far, but look, can bounce back well. And at that price, I'd be kicking myself if I didn't say something.
I've just got to say pretender here. It's the sort of horse you know is going to pop up and win a race eventually. I just don't think it's this one. I'll hate to miss her, but I'm happy to let her go around me without me this time. I'm glad you've covered her, though. Number 8, we move to Adelaide River. Child's Rise for the Chris Lees camp. 54 kilos, 9th barrier, 23 to win, $5 to place. Contender or pretender, mate?
Look, I'm going to go contender only for the form behind Sir Delius. It's not too far behind, 3 lengths in its last start. Has won at the distance before as well. Wouldn't say it's one of my top chances, but it is a contender in my opinion. Yeah,
the former Irish horse here, so you know he will stay the distance, as the Irish always really do. Lees has been known to train a couple of good European imports in his time, just never well enough to win a race like this. Has some ripping form behind some of the hottest horses in the country at the moment, like you said, including Sir Delius, who would quite frankly smash this lot if he was here. I'm happy to have him in my numbers as a contender. As we move to number 9 here, Banker's Choice. Egan rides for the Hayes boys, 54 kilos, 14th barrier, 100 to 1. Contender or pretender?
No, pretender. Do we need to go on?
I'm going to go on. I know someone watching is going to be really happy to hear this, but call me crazy. Honestly, not the worst $100 shot you'll ever hear in a race like this. Form on paper isn't amazing, but he's a distance specialist. Dropped 6 kilos off his Mornington Cup run behind Whiskey on the Hill, who arguably would be starting less than $10 in a race like this off his run last week. Then throw in the fact he's only 4 lengths off Revelare, who he now meets 6 kilos better. Throw in the fact he's coming off a Queensland winter, which has produced plenty of Caulfield Cup winners. I genuinely wouldn't be shocked to see him get up at 100 to 1. Do I think he gets up? Leaning more towards the no side, but I cannot rule him out. He is definitely not the worst $100 shot I've ever seen. Contender.
Fair enough.
Number 10, mate, Deacon, Stackhouse, Stokes combo, 54 kilos, 7th barrier, 20 to 1.
Contender, and I know people will be happy to hear that. Same form line behind Sir Delius for me. But yeah, it looks like it hasn't really hit very nicely this prep either, but can get it done and has shown in the past that can win. So
Same reason I have Adelaide River as a contender here. Gets the distance, has ripping form behind similar horses. One of the better value chances you'd have to think will look in it for a long way as we move to number 11. Golden Snap. Again, I'm going to try my best to pronounce this. Hamanaka rides and Tanaka trains. 53.5 kilos. 18th barrier, the widest barrier. $23 to win, $5.35 to place. Contender or contender?
would have been a contender if the barrier didn't absolutely put it on in the worst bit of the track. So it's going to be a pretender for me.
I'm going contender just because you never disrespect the Japanese. Warp speed went no good here last year.
Saying I am.
The warp speed went no good in this race last year, then almost won the Melbourne Cup. This big Japanese grey comes over here with an ideal setup, loves the distance, loves the conditions. Only negative, like you said, is the barrier. Has the ability to overcome it, though, in a pretty weak edition of this race. Like, a few others I've said no because of the barrier, even though she's wider than them. I think she does have the ability to overcome it. Is probably better suited to a Melbourne Cup, you'd think, but I definitely don't want to leave her out just in case she beats them. Number 12, Revelare. Curry rides for the Hickmott camp. He's the people's horse. He's the battler's horse. Out of barrier 12, 53.5 kilos, 21 to win. Contender or pretender, mate?
Revelare, surely. Surely it's Revelare.
Take your pick.
Revelare.
Take your pick.
Come on,
I've
guys.
heard commentators say both.
Yeah, Revelare for me. Yeah, look, contender. One of the better chances. I think I like it a lot, and it's one that I hope we include in the Quaddie, which we did include a couple more in this Quaddie. But yeah, won nicely, 2 in a row last start, before the last run. I'm sorry, but yeah, was winning nicely. Can get it done. Can get the distance as well.
Battler of the bunch, man. I reckon he's the best pure Aussie chance of the Cups this season. Just an honest horse. He's the ice bath of the stays. You just know what you're going to get every time. You're going to get a great run.
Is he an Aussie horse?
Yeah, pure Aussie.
His Siren Dam's in New Zealand, so I wasn't sure if he was a... Fair enough.
Close enough. He's going to look dangerous for a long time. When he starts his run, you're sure to hear a lot of cheers in the crowd because you'd think a lot of them are going to be on him at a big price too. He's in my numbers for sure. Revelare, take your pick. As we move to number 13 there, mate. River of Stars. Bo Mertens is going to ride for Chris Waller out of barrier 4, 100 to 1. Yeah, this is a 100 to 1 shot that I think is that for good reason. Only in it for the pace, no chance to win in my opinion. As you can, just as quickly as it came up, you can get that graphic off to Birdman. Nugent is going to ride for Waller here, 52.5 kilos out of barrier 10, 17 to 1. Thoughts?
Yeah, look, probably a contender in my eyes. I think won nicely at the 2000, stepped up to the 2400 pretty quickly. Didn't seem to like it as much against a pretty weak field. However, I think it's only going to take fitness out of that run. It's got a low weight. Should be there or thereabouts. I'm going to give it a contender chance.
I've got a contender as well because of very similar reasons with Adelaide River and Deakin. Just, hasn't put much of a foot wrong this spring. Has form lines behind some very good horses. Sir Delius is one of them. Royal Supremacy is another one. He's also beaten Adelaide River. So can win without shock in my opinion, that's for sure. As we finally get down to number 15 here, half yours, mate. The field favourite. Jamie Mellum rides for the McAvoy camp, if you want to get the graphic up. 52.5 kilos, barrier 2, $2.80 favourite, like I said. What are your thoughts on this one? I think this is an interesting horse.
A lot of my mates have kind of tried to spruik this to me like it wasn't already a favourite. Fourth place behind Sir Delius. Before that was running absolutely top. So it's always going to be hard to win a Caulfield Cup. And not always the best horse is going to win this race because you're going to have to get a bit of luck on your side as well with the big field. It's going to be tough. I just don't think $2.80 is a price I can have personally. Contender, but I can't be betting my money into there, but will not be leaving out the exotics for sure.
I'm going to say it's a false favourite. I'm going to say pretender here.
Wow.
I think, hasn't done a lot of wrong this prep, considering he started his career in some seriously weak benchmark 78s. It doesn't scream Group 1 winner, but I mean, you could say the same about Revelare, I guess. Jamie Mellum, though, is in terrible form as a jockey. With the big field and high pressure from the second barrier, she could end up getting it blocked off. She could end up getting it shuffled back.
She's in the chat before.
Yes, sure she was. Form's been great. Can certainly be in the finish, but I have a really strong feeling it goes under. Could even just come second. I just don't see it winning. It's a pretender for me. I've just got that weird feeling that it's going to go pop, and there's going to be a lot of angry punters that had a lot of money on it, and it just gets pipped going past the line. Like kind of like how you said, Solcombe's going to come second in the Melbourne Cup. You got that. You're going to say Incentivize is going to come second. The Boom I just think the Boom favourite's going to come under and go under and come second in this race.
Fair enough, mate. We'll move to number 16, Royal Supremacy at $9. I think this is definitely unders as well. Definitely a contender because the last 4 starts have been outstanding. Can get the distance, has got the distance. One last start at the distance. But look, is it $9? What horses is it really beaten? I don't know. I get another one that I can't be betting head on. $9 is a better price to be betting head on. I would want to see this horse starting at 15 to 16s to get onto it personally and be like, that's a really good price to have it at. But it is a contender in my eyes.
It is a contender in my eyes. I just think the price reflects the quality of the field.
Yeah, fair enough.
Year. Gets the trip no problem. Won the Metropolitan Group 1, so obviously is coming off the back of some really good form. I followed this horse like glue until he got to the big stage and I jumped off, so I was really annoyed there. I won't be missing him here. Also has Robbie Dolan, which he's becoming, credit to him, one of the better stay jockeys here. Maybe it's the Irish blood in him because that's all they do over there. So yeah, definitely a contender in my eyes as we move through the last couple in the field that I don't think we'll have a lot to talk about. If you get number 17 up, mate, Valiant King. McNeil rides for Waller at $19. I can't believe it's $19 personally out of the 16th barrier. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I can't believe it either. I think it's a pretender for me. Outside barrier as well. Can't believe it won last start at Yonks. I think it was like $80
$70
or something.
Yeah,
like that. Crazy. So don't think he can get it done here. But look, seen worse things happen.
Good win. Don't think he'll repeat it. And he's much more suited to a Melbourne Cup than he is a Caulfield Cup.
For sure.
And Plymouth, mate, finishes us off number 18 for Celine Gaudray. The Hayes boys trains this one as well at 51 kilos, carrying feathers on the back out of 17th barrier, 61 to win, 11 to place, contender or pretender.
Pretender.
For the placings, maybe, but won't be winning. Week back up and a big jump in grade is not a setup I like going into the Cups. I know some people really like those week backups or even Derby Day into Cup Day runs. I just don't. I really don't like it. So, pretender for me with Plymouth.
All right, mate.
All right, we've heard who you think can win. Who is going to win?
I'm going Vaughan.
Oh.
$11 is a price that I can have. I just think his run last start didn't fault him. He's definitely a fraud watch, and if he doesn't perform well here to a decent thing, we can cross him out. That's for sure. But look, they brought him over here with high expectations to win one of these big races. He stayed in Australia now. He's got no excuses. He's acclimatized. He's lived here. He knows what he's doing. I think he's a bit of a forgotten about horse about what he can do at his best, and I think he'll get it done.
Fair enough. I'm on Meydan. Just the best of the internationals. Gives me Without a Fight vibes. I've got on him for the Cups double because of what happened with Without a Fight. I'm never ever not putting my Caulfield Cup tip not on for the Cups double. Paying 300 to 1.
Wow.
So I mean, I'll gladly take the $3,000 payout from the tenner I chucked on that. Do I think he wins the Melbourne Cup? No, because he is much more suited to a Caulfield Cup. But I mean, I think he wins here. I can't miss out just in case. My top 4 would be Meydan, Half Yours to come second but not win, Middle Earth to come third, and then Revelare fourth. But I mean, you could play a bunch more in there and box them all up. Anything can probably come fourth in this race. What's your top 4?
Top 4, I'll go Vaughan. I'll go Half Yours. I'll go Revelare and Zardozi.
Zardozi. We got to love it. You can't leave her out of your numbers, can you?
Love you, Zard.
Alrighty.
Love you, Z.
Let's go to the namesake of the podcast to finish off. It's been a long pod. We thank you for sticking with us. Again, if you want to bet on any of the bets we've put up, make sure to go to Dabble. Use code MOXSports when signing up to let them know we sent you. Set a deposit limit and gamble responsibly when doing so. But we've hit the final mark here. We've got our quaddies and our best bets. You take us through the Randwick Quaddie, mate, and I'll take us through the Caulfield.
Race 7. Look, we're going to go Kaying one out in the Quaddie, but as we know, as we've talked about many times, if Kaying gets rolled, a lot of people are going to be out of the Quaddie and the price is going to go through the roof.
Wild Pool Quaddie as well.
So, yeah. Race 7, we've got Kaying, we've got Jolly Star, War Machine, and Lady Shenandoah. That's 1, 5, 9, 10. Race 8, we've got Linebacker, the Penman, Mayfair, and Gerringong. That's 1, 5, 7, 11. Race 9, you got Fangirl, Mr. Brightside, Pericles, and Lake Forest. That's 1, 4, 6, 10. And race 10, the Quaddie Killer, Kerguelen, Rock Empire, Lord of Biscay, and Lavish Empire. 2, 3, 7, 14. $50 gets you 19.5%, mate. Caulfield, it's going to be a bit different, mate, for sure, because we'll go a bit shorter early on and then we'll put a lot more into the Caulfield Cup. Take us through it.
Yeah. So we went skinny. We wanted to go apocalyptic one out, but just in case our people's horse lets us down, we've gone Ole Dancer to cover that. 2, 3. We've gone Private Eye, Here to Shock, Payline, Media World. 1, 2, 6, 9. That's in race 8. Race 9, the Caulfield Cup itself. We wanted to leave a bit of room to put 6 horses in. We've gone My Tip Maidan. We've gone the favourite Half Yours. We've gone Your Tip of Barn. And then we've also put the Jap Golden Snap in case that gets up. And then we've gone the Battler's Horse, Revelair. And then we've gone the best of our value chances, Deacon. There, that's 1, 4, 10, 11, 12, 15. To finish off, we've got a Bounding, Splashback, Glasgow Lass, and Tuileries. 2, 5, 6, 10. $50 gets you 26% of that Quaddie, mate. Again, stick to your socials if that gets changed. Up on the Dabble again, that'll get changed. But, mate, if you're going to be having one bet around the country on Everest Caulfield Cup Day, who is it and why and where is it?
Look, I think we're going to be very similar, so I'll go with something a bit different. I'm going to go race 3, 1,600 metres, Swift Falcon for me, $3.10. Should be the best horse in the race. Should get it done. Simple as that.
If we get our multi up, it's going to be an early payout for us to be able to spend on the races later because mine's in race 2 at Randwick. It's Sam Hawkins. Okay, all the word that I've heard on this horse is that it is unbeatable on Saturday. And you know what? I trust these people. I'll back them in. Let's see if they've given me the hot tip. And I mean, the form in Europe speaks for itself. I think he is just going to be better than this lot. So at $2.80, Sam Hawkins in the second. I mentioned earlier my best roughie of the day was in race 6 in the Sydney Stakes with Coal Crusher at $34. If you're going to pick a roughie around the country, who is it? And
it's
why?
going to be literally in the same race as my best bet.
You love that. That's 3 weeks straight.
Scarlet Oak, $34. Roughie.
Fair enough. I'll quickly mention as well, as my phone keeps blowing up, Miss Mock, her horse, Miss Havar, is running tomorrow at Hawkesbury. I can't remember what race it's in, but just look up Miss Havar in any of your bookmaker search features and you will find it. Good luck to the Miss Mock family there. I know they're watching at home. I love you. Good luck.
Shout out, everyone. Good long pod.
Big long pod. Probably the longest pod of the year. Longest pod maybe ever. But, I mean, that's what happens when they keep putting Caulfield Cup and Everest on the same day. I hope they change it eventually because it's a lot of work for us, but we do it for you guys. But, obviously, next week we got Cox Plate. The week after that, we got Derby and Golden Eagle. But, I mean, it's Golden Eagle Day for us. We don't really care about the Derby here at the Mock Sports. And then a few days later, we've got the Melbourne Cup. So, it's a busy few weeks. If you liked what we did with the runner-by-runner preview and all these graphics, keep coming back. That's what you're going to be seeing for the next few weeks. It's good stuff. Thanks for being here, guys. There was over 300 of you that tuned in the live stream and many more it's going to tune in through the next few days. You keep doing racing different with us here. We're making racing fun again. It's great stuff. And if you're down at the Everest, make sure to say g'day. If you see us, yell at us. Don't be abusive, please. But come shake our hand, take a photo if you want, buy us a beer. We'll buy you a beer. Who knows? Let's just get around each other and have a good time this weekend, eh?
For sure. All right, lads. Thanks for coming, and we'll see you next time.
And back behind those horses, I Am Unstoppable. Osmosis at the clock tower, led by a length to Shinzo, Arkansas Kid, and I Am Unstoppable is running on. The leader, Osmosis, with 50 metres to go. Osmosis is clear and will take it out.